Hello, and welcome to
Metalpod Radio, the show where we review metal
and things
stuff.
related to metal.
Yes.
On this week's show,
Audio Secrecy
by Stone Sour. Women and Children Last by
The Murderdolls.
Interesting. Slipknot with some
assembly required.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a puzzle at a bad rummage sale. Alright, the first album we're reviewing this week is Audio Secrecy by Stone Sour.
Yes!
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
it is.
What was your opinion of the album there,
My
John?
opinion of the album. Audio Secrecy by
Yes.
Stone Sour.
Yes.
First album review.
Yes.
I thought it was just
It wasn't nearly as heavy as I thought it was going to be. I mean, I thought it was going to be a lot more thrashy, a lot more... Not quite to the level of Iowa or...
Slipknot.
Yeah.
Now that band that they're in.
I thought it was going to be a lot more like Come Whatever May. There's a lot of heavy tracks, but there's also some soft and melodic tracks. But I overall enjoyed it.
Fair enough. They did warn us ahead of time that it was going to be a more melodic album overall, and that it was going to be a little less uniform, as you mentioned, than Whatever May or Stone Sour. A little more variety between tracks, which is true. There's a lot of variety.
I rather enjoyed that, actually.
Yes. It was a joyous experience for them. Interesting fact, and this kind of relates to what you were saying about the, quit agreeing with me. What you were saying about the heaviness of the relative... the relative heaviness of the first two albums. If you take a look at the most popular singles, I'm going to smack you.
If you look at the intro, what were you saying?
I know I'm a couple days late, Meatpod fans, but I'm frustrated now. Anyway, interesting fact regarding the relative heaviness of Stone Sour albums so far. If you take a look at the most popular singles from each album, they actually increase in heaviness. On Stone Sour, most popular single was Bother off the Spider-Man soundtrack.
Yep.
Come Whatever May, most popular well-known single, Through Glass. Heavier, but nice. And so far, single off of Audio Secrecy.
Which you guys are probably listening to right now.
You better be listening to right now. Is a little track called Say You'll Haunt Me, which is way heavier than either of the first two. So, if you're a casual Stone Sour listener,
You're going to get really confused.
and you listen to the radio, you're going to listen to their single, you're going to go, wait a minute, when did they get heavy? And you're going to listen to the rest of the album, you're going to be completely happy with it, and you're going to listen to their old stuff, and you're going to pass out in shock.
Alright. What was your favorite
Hate, mail,
track?
and blame, Waffles. Care of metalpod_radio@mail.com.
Second album we're reviewing this week is Women and Children Last by Murderdolls.
Yep.
I thought it was the exact opposite of Stone Sour, and it just overall went heavier and heavier. It was more like a Marilyn Manson album, because I find that Wednesday 13 lead singer sounds a lot like him.
This is true. Actually, he's kind of a cross between Marilyn Manson and Alice Cooper. A fascinating and wonderful cross between them.
It's a shame he isn't in a bigger band.
It really is. Nonetheless, we will expose them in a good way.
Yes. I know a lot of you didn't like the first one. This is a lot different. I rather enjoyed it. It was very heavy, as I said.
There's also a very unified album, due to the fact that there were two people on it. Wednesday 13, who did the singing, and there's Joey Jordison, who did everything else. So, yeah, unified. The guitarist knew exactly what the drummer would be playing, while the bassist was off doing his thing. Because they're the same guy. Joey, what were you thinking? I don't know, I'm sorry! Moving on.
Yes.
Another interesting thing about this album, don't start with me, Waffles. Another interesting thing about this album, there's actually a couple feel-good pop hits on it. Sort of. I mean, they're in major keys, and they're kind of happy, and if you change the words from, say, As the Daylight Died on a Summertime Suicide, to something
happy, like
slightly less morbid.
As I walked through a valley of
butterflies
and flowers.
But the song itself, like the guitars and the bass and everything, and even the vocal melodies, were pretty freaking happy, which is odd on a metal album, but it really seemed to work. I mean, these things could practically make it onto the radio.
It was creepy.
It was creepy.
Alright, now the news this week is being done in our good old underground bunker. They let us out.
Yes, because, well...
Now, it's news time!
Yay!
Coming to you in 3D in certain locations.
Yes. Only if you pay for the exclusive YouTube 3D Metalpod package. $39.95, cash only, mailed to Underground Bunker.
We actually invite you into the underground bunker.
Yes, but only if you give us money.
That's the only way.
An offering of soda would be nice too, otherwise we set the dogs on you.
Yes, dogs.
And now,
big, vicious. Arr.
Bigger than him.
I know they're scary. Seriously, they get like steroids and junk.
I never feed my dogs steroids. Unless, of course.
Alright, musicradar.com, going back to the news.
Ah, yes. What we're actually talking about.
Musicradar.com has released their list of the 25 greatest bassists of all time.
So far.
So far, yeah. Time is done now. Taking the number one slot was...
John Young of Dream Theater, 6-string player, capable of playing in time signatures beyond the comprehension of the average man.
Including myself.
And the below average man.
Number 2 was Geddy Lee of Rush fame. 3 was Paul Gray of Slipknot. 4 was...
Steve Arieris.
No, Mrs. Bummer.
Steve Arieris.
Number 5 was Cliff Burton, no group no one's ever heard of.
Metallica. If you've heard of them, let us know. We're trying to figure out if this guy actually matters.
7 was Flea, from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. 8 was John Entwistle.
One of the greatest heavy metal bassists
that never played
in a heavy metal band.
This week's Metal Pod.
We hope you enjoyed our reviews of Not Slipknot and more Not Slipknot. Some assembly required.
Like a bad rummage sale. Basically, farewell for this week. I'm Waffles. Hopefully the next one will get on a lot sooner than this one did.
Like, say, in a week.
In a week?
We'll see.
We'll see. It might happen. So, for Sean, I'm Waffles.
And for Waffles, I'm Sean. This has been Metalpod Radio from the
Jimmy
Brown
Page
Coat
is
Fort.
still alive.
He is. He's doing fine. Keep rocking, Jimmy.
Have a great rest of your week. And keep rocking, yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
Stone Sour.
Audio Secrecy by Stone Sour is an extremely unfocused album. P-O-S.
Second album we're reviewing today is
I'm allergic to it.
Children Last by Murderdolls.
Oh god, let's just get rid of that.
Alright.
It'll save you the
Focus. The second album we're reviewing is a fly in my computer.
There's a fly in the computer. We've got computer bugs! Interesting fact, computer bugs actually used to be real bugs. When they had the ENIAC, which was a computer the size of a basement, moths would get into the circuit board and cause it to short out, and that's where we get the term bugs. Isn't that fascinating, ladies and gentlemen?